students. We'll start with the new session in the distributed systems course. The topic which we are going to discuss today is system architectures. Let's start with our session. There are three types of architectures: centralized, decentralized, and hybrid. Coming to the centralized architecture, we are going to discuss how a master and slave systems will be communicated or is connected with each other in the distributed environment. In the decentralized architecture system, we are going to discuss how one-to-one connection will be possible. Coming to the hybrid architecture, it is a combination of both centralized and decentralized environment. Now, here we are going to discuss about all the software components, how they are placed in the systems, and how they are communicate with each other. Now, let us start with the first type of the system architecture, that is centralized architecture. This centralized architecture system have a capacity to communicate with many clients at a time. So this is a client and server architecture can be possible with this. So when we are naming it as client server architecture, this is directly the combination of master and slave combination, where all the slaves will be dependent on the master system. Here we call client server. So all the clients will be dependent on the server system. Who will be initiated with the service means always the client will be requesting, right? When a client requests for some data, immediately the server will be providing the service here. You can see in the diagram here, it will be provided with the service and reply that service back to the client, so that client will be getting that service which it was requested prior, right? But it takes some time to get that service to the client. So this is a first and foremost point to be noted in the centralized architecture. See here, this is a server and all these systems are the clients. So you can see in the diagram, request and response, where we are connecting with a network, and there is a super system that is a server, and there are slave systems, those are called as a clients, right? Here in the centralized architecture, we are going to follow a layering structure. This layering structure will be having 3 layers, and this structure is called as the application layer. What are the 3 layers which we are going to concentrate here are the user interface, process level, and the data level. User interface is at the client side. Data level is at the server side. Whereas process level will be the intermediate combination where it is going to provide the service, and the content which is required for that service will be taken, and the keywords, database rankings, HTML generators, everything will be taken care here. Now, at the user end, user interface will be available to give the request. Now, that request will be considered, and what are the requirements for the request will be taken care by the process level. And at last, the data level will be the data about the web pages. We have databases, files, metadata information, everything will be at the data level information. So as you can see here, user level, and then in the processing level, you will be having n number of combinations which will be happening all the time to provide you service properly, and the required database will be given by the data level. All right. In the multi-layered architecture, decentralized, you will be having a support of the multi-layered architecture, where this architecture will be having a 3-tiered architecture. So this is nothing but presentation, application, and data storage. So this multi-tiered architecture is also a client server, and at the same time, it will be having a number of functionalities. So with respect to the 3 separate layers, which are connected physically, which can be managed physically also. So there are a number of developers who are utilizing multi-tiered architecture because of its flexibilities and reusable applications. Even small changes we can update very easily by using multi-tiered architectures. So the 3 layers which we are going to discuss are the application, presentation, application, and the data storage. See, presentation tier is at the client side, application will be the processing, and data storage, again, we will be having a database. So for all the three tiers here, we will be maintaining a separate server. So presentation tier will be having a web server, application tier will be having an application server, data storage tier will be having a database server. So this client is about to request for something. Now, at the front end, the front end tie, you will be having a user interface. Now, client is readily having an application to utilize and request for something. So, through HTTP and SQL combinations, the client has been given with the request. Now, this request through application server will be sent to the database server. And then this database, whatever the database server database we have, the database will be giving the information, and through application server back, you will be giving response to the client. Now, that is what. So presentations tier will be maintaining a web server and the application, and wherever the exact business logic happens, that is the application server, and the database server will be maintained at the data storage tier. So these are the three tiered architecture. So just whatever we have discussed, we have mentioned here. So presentation tier is a topmost and interactive environment where a client can communicate directly with the system. So that may be any web page or GUI, whatever, which is user friendly. Now the application tier is the exact place where what happening exactly, how the processing, how the data functionality is happening. So will be taken care by this application tier, and data storage tier is a data provider where data can be stored, retrieved, and updated. So everything can be possible in the data storage tier. So this is all about the centralized architecture. Now we are moving to the decentralized architecture, where there is no master and slave combination, there is no client and server combination. The only thing which we are going to discuss is every system will be client, every system can be a server depending on the application what we are utilizing. So here we will be going to communicate directly as one-to-one or peer-to-peer combination, right? So there is no master and slave combination. We can get the data from one node, and we can give the data to the other node, right? So this is a combination where we have peer-to-peer combination. There is no central system server at all, and all the clients can be called as all the peers, and all the servers can be called as all the peers, right? So this is decentralized. Coming to the hybrid one, it is combination of both centralized and decentralized. That is client-server combination and peer-to-peer combination. Here we will be having one term called edge server system. So this edge server system will be having n number of content providers. So we call content providers itself as a servers. And now if you're having one of the example as an internet service provider. See, internet service providers will be connecting to a content provider as a server. Now, ISP and ISP can be communicated directly, and every ISP will be having n number of clients to communicate with this ISP server. So like this, it is a combination of both the client server and peer-to-peer combination. So this type of environment we will be applying in many number of enterprise networks where commercial slots will be taking place over there. So this is the end of this session. If you have any doubts in this, please be free to contact through messages in the comment section or directly in the college. Thank you for listening.